Okay, welcome again. Time to do the final preparation. Before we start, we are actually live. Oh my God, Ray, where is your outfit? Okay, go and grab your outfit. Perfect. Okay, guys, so let me just check whether light and camera works fine for you. So Shashi, can you please stand up? Grab your note card, unmute, and start presenting.
Should we convert to electric vehicles?
Oh,
not quite
yeah,
yet.
I cannot hear.
Not again.
Second. Okay, can you do it again?
Should we convert to electric vehicles yet? Okay.
Perfect. Okay, Kara, let's check how it works for you.
A trend is a trend is a trend. Can you hear me?
Perfect. Wonderful position. Everything fine. Craig?
Electric vehicles are one of the most important things in people's daily lives.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay, guys, can you hear and see me well? Yes? Okay, so just waiting for Ray to check if everything works fine for Ray. Okay, now looks like a real debater, great debater, right?
Let's see.
Mm-hmm. That could work.
Let's just see how this works. Oh.
Even if it's from the side, it puts light on you, so it's okay. It's just important not to be behind you. Mm-hmm.
Kind of hard to see this way. Let me just.
Okay, take your time. We have 8 more minutes.
Is that better?
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
Okay, let's see.
Just start. Mm-hmm.
Should electric vehicle something so futuristic and modern replace the good old ways of gas cars?
Perfect. Perfect. Okay, guys, you're all set and ready. Just to be sure you're comfortable with your note cards, with having no stage fright, I hope. Can you stand up and use another minute or two to present your opening speech? Of course, muted. I just need to observe your nonverbals. Ray, can you turn on your camera? Okay, so let's just practice opening speech. Shortened version, of course, for the showcase. Mm-hmm. You may start, go. Okay, nonverbals are perfect. The only thing I would like to check from your side before we start, you got a link to YouTube streaming. Can you just check if you can see us via this link, if it works for you? And I shared that link with your parents through email. If they haven't received it, please send them. Perfect. Thank you, Craig. Does it work for Shashi, Kara, and Ray? Perfect. Thank you, Kara. Perfect. Thank you, Shashi. Ray, can you see yourself on YouTube?
Yep, it works.
Wonderful. Okay, so just remind your parents we are starting in 4 minutes and send that link to them if they haven't received it through email. Okay, so one last message, don't forget to smile. It's very important, right? We talked about conversational style, about natural approach in presentation, and smile. You remember that guy who we observed during our first day or second, cannot recall at the moment. And then what's the difference between this posture and how approachable the posture where his smile is. So don't forget to implement that. So we will be starting in 3 minutes. Use that time to grab a glass of water. You remember the stage fright we talked about. I'm sure you're professionals at the moment, so stage fright will not play a crucial role in your presentation, but still grab a glass of water, do whatever you need. You have 3 more minutes until we start. Okay, so are we ready for official presentation? Okay, so good afternoon, dear parents, and welcome to our award ceremony. My name is Golubovic, Coach Boka, and I'm pleased to host this event. On behalf of Capital Debate, I heartily welcome all of you present. It is my great honor and pleasure to appreciate and reward the hard work and the performance of all of our students who have made us all so proud. So let us now officially start with award ceremony. So as you can see, this is our perfect group. I must say that I was so amazed by the achievement that they all made so far, and I was so inspired by their hard work. And comparing to Thursday, Monday of the first week, they all improved so much. So I would just like shortly to introduce what we've been doing throughout 2 weeks. You have received our emails that explained in details each day and the activities that we went through. But now shortly to go through the first and second week, I would like to mention that throughout the first week, all the students worked on developing their opening speeches. So opening or the persuasive speech is actually the first speech that is being presented within debate. It has lots of names, constructive or first speech, but we decided to call it opening speech, and we practiced it as a persuasive in order to develop all appeals that are important to persuade our audience, meaning ethos, pathos, and logos. We went on learning more about verbals and nonverbals, how to structure our thoughts, and finally, how to develop an argument. So by the end of the first week, all of the students had their speeches developed and presented. Now, the second week started by presenting their speeches from note cards. So by that time, they practiced learning by heart the most important phrases, and they had only key points written on their note cards. So from that point, they started learning more about other parts of the debate, starting from refutation, moving to cross-examination, and finalizing with the closing speech. Now, when we start with the showcase debate, they won't be presenting the whole speech, actually the whole speeches. Due to the time given, so they will only present the shortened version of each of their speeches. In a regular situation that we actually practice throughout the tournament, and on Wednesday when we did practice debates, students presented opening speech for 4 minutes, then they went to cross-examination for 2 minutes, moved to refutation for 3 minutes, and then finalized the closing speech within 2 minutes. So apart from developing communication, critical thinking, creative thinking skills, and collaboration, they all improved time management. And finally, I would like to mention that they were all attentive listeners. They all supported each other, and that's why they succeeded and improved so much. Now, let us congratulate our students for their great achievements, starting from Jiray Chan. Jiray or Ray, thank you very much. You did a great job. He was actually the most supportive guy at the beginning. He was very open to encourage everyone in the room. He was always open to share first, to ask first, and his inquiry-based skill and need to learn more actually resulted in great speeches and great public speaking skill. So thank you, Ray, for joining Capital Debate Virtual Camp, and once again, congratulations for great improvements you've made so far. Now, let us congratulate to Shashi Reddy. Shashi, great job. As we've heard in the last few minutes before we started with this streaming, there were a few positive feedbacks for Shashi, and I appreciated one that talked about how much Shashi improved regarding nonverbals, articulation, and projection. And at this point, I must say that Shashi became a great speaker, someone who can easily refute other speakers' points, question their thesis, and finalize everything within the closing speech. Great job, Shashi. Thank you for joining Capital Debate Virtual Camp. And now I would like to congratulate to Craig Johns. Craig, great job so far. So my compliments go to Craig for, first of all, winning our fun impromptu tournament. So this is a tournament we held yesterday after the official debate tournament. Students got few, let's say, fun, interesting topics and got 5 minutes to develop those topics into their speeches. And Craig won based on the content he provided and the public speaking skills. But that's not the end of it. Craig is our champion. Congratulations, Craig. So Craig is actually the student who won our official debate tournament. And I must say, as a judge, that the key points that led him to winning this tournament were public speaking skills, the presentation itself, moving on to great critical thinking that was especially seen through cross-examination, refutation, and the structure and the analysis he presented within his closing speech. So once again, thank you very much. It was a pleasure being your coach, and I hope I will seeing you in some other tournaments. Thank you very much. Moving on to Kara Paisley Cook. Great job, Kara. So I must say, and I will quote other participants within this group, that Kara was the most inspiring speaker in a group. Her passion, or pathos, as we learned that, actually motivated others to give their best and to get out of their public speaking comfort zone. Great job, Kara, for that. And for the reason that her public speaking was so motivating and fantastic, he actually is the first speaker of the tournament, meaning that her presentation skills were regarded as the most impressive at our official debate tournament. Thank you, Kara, for joining Capital Debate Virtual Camp. Wonderful job. So we're at the point where you will actually experience everything that I've shared with you so far, dear parents. Our showcase is about to begin. So I've explained what are the speeches that the students learned so far, but I haven't introduced the topic. So throughout 2 weeks, all of our students did a great research analysis. They provided credible sources. They wrote speeches, refutation, and closing speech as well on this topic. And the topic is that electric vehicles should replace gas vehicles. This topic was also challenging for the reason that we are experiencing such challenging times throughout the world, where we have variation of gas prices and a need to turn to renewable energy. So they covered it all, meaning that they were also challenged by the fact that they had to find, let's say, a recent research in order to support their arguments. And they did a great job. You're about to see that. So the first debate will be between Ray and Shashi. Ray will be advocating for electric vehicles replacing gas vehicles, while Shashi will be advocating for status quo, meaning that electric vehicles should not replace gas vehicles. So let us hear this showcase debate. Ray, the floor is yours.
Okay. Is everybody ready? Okay. Should electric vehicle, something so futuristic and modern, replace the good old ways of gas cars? Yes, my name is Jure Chen, and I strongly support the replacement of gas vehicles with EVs. Why? Because EVs are proven to be significantly healthier for the planet and its people. My reason is electric vehicles produce less CO2 in production and in practice. Moving on to my point, less harmful emissions are produced with EVs, where greenhouse gases and air pollutants are an immediate and prolonged danger to the environment and the public health. Without gas pipe, with greater energy efficiency, less fossil fuel and emission, it is evident that electric vehicles are healthier for families. Not only does the US Department of Energy state that in comparison to the 11,435 pounds of annual CO2 emission by gasoline, the production of electricity only emits 3,932 pounds. Additionally, the Union of Concerned Scientists cites that in some parts of the country, the average new gas vehicles will produce 4 to 7 times more than the average EV. With EVs in place, Americans don't have to worry about air qualities when they bring their loved ones outside of their home. Dear judges, let me remind you again, by replacing gas vehicles with EVs, we can create a healthier planet with healthier people. Because EVs are cleaner for the public health. Electric vehicles aren't a futuristic ideal, but is a current and modern benefit for American families to be healthier and wealthier. Therefore, the middle class needs a miracle against the old harmful ways. So I urge you to vote pro to do less harm to Americans. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ray. So, dear parents, that was a pro opening speech. And now Shashi will question that opening speech. Shashi, the floor is yours.
Are my opponents and judge ready? Okay. Are you aware that lithium mining can have drastic environmental consequences?
Yes, lithium mining could cause pollution.
Are you aware that fracking happens offshore rather than on land like lithium mining?
Would you repeat the question?
Sorry. Are you aware that fracking happens offshore over water rather than on land where lithium mining happens, where it's more likely for pollution and other consequences to happen?
No, but I am aware that fracking causes death of human lives year round, and that fracking causes a lot of pollutions that release chemicals that are harmful to human beings.
Do you think that mining up to 500,000 pounds of Earth's crust to make one singular electric vehicle battery is worth it?
Well, yes, batteries are used in electric vehicles, which promotes renewable energy, produce less CO2 emission, which is ultimately healthier for the planet.
Thank you very much. So it is time now for Shashi to present his opening speech. So Shashi, the floor is yours when you're ready.
Should we convert to electric vehicles entirely? Not quite yet. Electric vehicles and gas vehicles should be able to coexist due to gas cars not requiring rare metals such as lithium for its batteries. Electric vehicles require a rare metal called lithium in their batteries, which isn't in abundant supply on the Earth. Lithium needs to be mined from the Earth, which can cause drastic environmental consequences. Lithium mining can also, in the refining process, create CO2 emissions, and along with the assembly process for electric vehicles, cause CO2 emissions. And according to a CNN article that compares electric versus gas cars, the production of electric vehicles causes more emissions and pollutants than that of gas cars. So the manufacturing process of electric cars can only be so environmentally and green until it's not until gas cars can still be safer than that. Therefore, judges, I feel like gas cars should not be entirely replaced by electric vehicles due to the reasons I've listed. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Shashi. So Shashi just provided his opening speech, and now Ray will question it. Ray, the floor is yours.
Is everybody ready? You support the continued use of gasoline, correct?
Yes.
Are you aware that fracking is the mean to dig gas and oil to produce gasoline?
I am aware of that.
Would you say that fracking is more dangerous than lithium mining?
I would not.
Well, according to the National Resource Defense Council, fracking sites release a toxic duo of air pollution that includes chemicals causing severe headaches, childhood leukemia, cardiac problems, and birth defects. Are you aware of that?
I am not aware of that.
Do you have any evidence that lithium mining has caused the loss of human lives?
Yes, according to an nrdc.org article.
So lithium mining has caused the loss of human lives.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you very much. That would be time. So after cross-examination, we are moving to refutation speeches. Those are the speeches that students did prepare in advance, meaning that they did a research in order to find a proper piece of evidence, but they will usually need some time to prepare those response cards and provide a refutation speech. So Ray, would you like to use some prep time for refutation?
No.
Okay, so usually students would get 2 minutes to prepare throughout the whole debate, but for this showcase debate, they're given 1 minute. So Ray, the floor is yours.
Okay. Is everybody ready? My opponent claims that lithium mining could be harmful to the environment. However, this is simply misleading. Though lithium mining have the potential to cause pollutions, but think of the bigger picture. The alternative to electric batteries is gasoline, which is produced by fracking. And according to National Resource Defense Council, as of June 2020, 20 people has lost their lives within a 7-year span because of the air pollution that contain toxic chemicals released from fracking. The impact of lithium mining, which not only does it not kill innocent human lives like fracking does, but it also proves renewable energy and less greenhouse gas emission. Dear judges, I've refuted my opponent's argument, pointing out why my value is more impactful in this debate, and that is why I asked for a pro ballot. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ray. So now it is Shashi's turn to refute Ray's opening speech. Shashi, would you like some prep time?
No, thank you.
Okay, Shashi, the floor is yours.
Are my opponents and judge ready? My opponent would like you to believe that electric vehicles are better for the environment, when in reality, that's not true. Lithium mining, my opponent fails to realize that lithium mining is more hazardous than fracking due to an NEI.edu and an article by the Indiana Institute of Research. On average, fracking tends to be less hazardous to the environment due to it being offshore. And my opponent also fails to realize that gas cars in the end can be better for the environment due to them not needing rare metals and the tear up of the planet. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Shashi. So we've heard both refutation speeches, and now we're heading towards the closing ones. So Ray, would you like to use 1 minute of your prep time for the closing speech?
Yes, please.
Okay, 1 minute starting now. That would be time, Ray.
Okay. Is everybody ready? My opponent claims in his refutation were that lithium mining could be more hazardous than fracking. However, he did not provide a number or nor any statistic, which is hard to determine how dangerous lithium mining is to fracking. However, dear judges, worldwide air pollution from burning fossil fuels is responsible for 1 in 5 deaths, according to Harvard University. This debate is about how the general public can benefit from the old harmful ways of gas cars. And I have won this debate because I prove that gas cars aren't beneficial at all, but is damaging to the public. My opponent claimed in the cross that fracking is less dangerous than lithium mining. But I've proved that with gas pipes and fracking, it causes irreversible damage to the globe and it kills countless of innocent lives. If you believe in the justice of less deaths of our loved ones, then you must cast a pro ballot. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ray. So pro side has finished their part of the debate, and now we're about to hear con side's closing speech. Shashi, would you like some prep time?
Yes, please.
1 minute starting now. Shashi, that would be time.
So, with everything that's been said, should we switch to completely electric vehicles? The answer to this is no. Judges, if you believe that electric vehicles aren't as green as everybody may think they are, you should vote for con. Gas cars are better due to them not requiring lithium and rare metals that can take a heavy toll on the environment. My opponent wants you to believe that electric vehicles are better for the environment, but in reality, electric vehicles and the production of them might be causing more harm than good. My counterclaim is superior to theirs because they fail to realize what truly goes into those better environmental cars that they claim that they are. And even if my opponent's argument is true, I should still win because I've shown the flaws in the argument, such as why lithium mining could be possibly worse than that of fracking. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much. So, dear parents, I'm sure that at this point you realize how hard it was for judge to judge this kind of debate. Since their arguments were strong, they presented great public speaking and they were so convincing, right? So let us now open our next debate. And that will be a debate. So the same topic, just this time we will be hearing the finalists of our tournament. So Craig on pro and Cara on con side. So topic is the same, process is the same, and let us enjoy. And I'm confident that you not only will enjoy this one as you enjoyed the previous one, but after hearing the second debate, all your beliefs about electric or gas vehicles might just drop down. Okay, so let us hear Craig.
Dear judge and opponent, are you ready for my opening speech? Okay. Cars are one of the most important things in people's daily lives. Because of this, the idea of switching to electric vehicles has caused a lot of controversy. My name is Craig Jones, and I'm arguing that electric vehicles should replace all gasoline vehicles because they are better for the environment. Electric vehicles are better for the environment because they have zero tailpipe emissions. The carbon emissions of electric vehicles depend on their energy source, but since renewable energy continues to increase, this will become less of a concern. According to the International Energy Agency, 2021 was the record year of renewable energy growth. According to the International Council on Clean Transportation, EVs already emit 60 to 68% less greenhouse gases than gasoline vehicles. According to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, sea level has risen 8 to 9 inches since 1880. In 2020, the global mean sea level is at its highest annual average in satellite record. If we replace gasoline vehicles with electric vehicles, the issues of climate change and pollution will be improved. If we don't replace gasoline vehicles with electric vehicles soon, then the earth will grow hotter and sea levels will rise, flooding certain areas. Today, I've explained why electric vehicles should replace gasoline vehicles. They are better for the environment. Dear judge, I encourage you to vote for pro because electric vehicles will create a better future for the environment. Thank you.
Thank you, Craig. It is now time for cross-examination. Cara, the floor is yours.
Judge and opponent ready? Okay. Are you aware there are hazards when mining lithium?
Yes, I am aware.
Do you believe do you believe that developing nations will have enough money to buy electric vehicles?
Yes, because the prices of electric vehicles are going down and will continue to go down.
Could these areas potentially starve because of water contamination and the killing of their livestock?
Yes, but mining rare metals for gasoline vehicles can create the same problem.
But is it to the same extent?
I'm not sure to which extent, but it's still a problem.
And do you have a source for this extent?
Yes, my source is the David Suzuki Foundation.
But do they have numbers on how many?
Not that I know off the top of my head.
Okay, that concludes my cross-examination.
Thank you very much. So let us now hear Cara's opening speech. Cara, the floor is yours.
Judge and opponent ready? Okay. A trend is a trend is a trend, but the question is, will it bend? Will it alter its course with some unforeseen force and come to a premature end? The dispute between whether electric vehicles should replace gas vehicles is one that needs an answer. The answer can affect the health and safety of every person worldwide, and as I see it, electric vehicles should not replace gas vehicles. Firstly, the health and safety risk of mining lithium can be hazardous. Indeed, this risk in the exploitation of developing nations has cause for concern. According to Harvard International Review, in Tibet, Chinese lithium mining has leaked chemicals like hydrochloric acid into the Liquay River, which resulted in the poisoning of fish and killing of livestock. Also, the Institute for Energy Research states in Australia, only 2% of the country's 3,300 metric tons of lithium ion waste is recycled. In addition, Chile's Salar de Atacama mining activities consume 65% of the region's water. Therefore, the process of sourcing materials and the lack of recycling allows for the misuse of water and the exploitation of developing nations. Clearly, in the end, Judge, you could see that gas vehicles should not be replaced by electric vehicles, that the health and safety risk of mining lithium has caused for gas vehicles to still be relevant in today's world. Possibly soon, gas vehicles themselves will become more efficient with carpooling, biking, and the reselling of parts becoming more and more popular. For that reason, I would like your con ballot.
Thank you very much, Cara. So let us hear cross-examination. Craig, the floor is yours.
Dear judge and opponent, are you ready for my cross-examination? Okay. Are you aware that according to Harvard University, we will run out of gas reserves in 2060?
Yes.
Okay, how do you propose that we can continue to sustain using non-renewable resources?
Well, I'm advocating for gas vehicles not being replaced. And so lithium mining still has its effects. What would happen if lithium mining, the ores and the metals run out too?
Okay, so what do you think the alternative to gasoline vehicles is?
Well, there are renewable energy, nuclear energy, there's coal.
Okay. Are you in support of renewable energy?
Yes.
Are you aware that in order to store renewable energy, lithium batteries must be used?
Yes, but not to the same extent that electric vehicles dig up 500,000 pounds of metals to use in a battery.
Okay. That concludes my cross-examination.
Thank you very much. So it is time for their refutation speeches. Craig, would you like to use some prep time?
I would not, thank you.
Thank you. So pro-refutation speech is about to be presented.
Dear judge and opponent, are you ready for my refutation speech? Okay. In my opponent's argument, they argue that electric vehicles should not replace gas vehicles because lithium is hazardous. However, according to the David Suzuki Foundation, renewable energy and storage technologies are advancing rapidly with attention paid to the environmental impacts of materials used to make them. The ability to recycle batteries and their components is also improving. Additionally, my opponent does not mention that rare metals that damage the environment are frequently used for gasoline vehicles as well as electric vehicles, and that lifetime greenhouse gas emissions for electric vehicles are lower. Dear judge, I successfully refuted my opponent's argument that gas vehicles should be replaced because of hazardous lithium mining by explaining how the environmental impacts of electric vehicles are improving. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Craig. Cara, would you like to use some prep time?
No.
So con refutation is about to start.
Judge and opponent ready? Okay. For my opponent's first argument about environment, electric vehicles are not as green as they seem. To manufacture each EV auto battery, Ronald Stein from Heartland Institute states, all told, you dig up 500,000 pounds of the Earth's crust for just one battery. In addition, Middle East Institute states nickel mining and refining practices have already resulted in documented damage to freshwater and marine ecosystems in Australia, the Philippines, Indonesia, Papua New Guinea, and New Caledonia. Not only that, but chargers will still require fossil fuels, with Indiana University reporting if your local power company is heavily dependent on fossil fuels for energy production, then charging electric vehicles will still produce air pollution in areas near the power plant. Hence, demand in lithium and the lack of recycling of it leads to more mining, which causes the damage to communities in developing nations. The environmental damage done outweighs the benefits. Depending on renewable energy, which no one uses, is faulty in itself and does not dispel that electric vehicles produce emissions. And with this, I have successfully refuted my opponent's argument. Please vote for a con ballot.
Thank you very much, Kara. So it is now time for closing speeches. Craig, would you like to use 1 minute?
No, I would not. Thank you.
Welcome. So pro closing speech is about to start.
Dear judge and opponent, are you ready for my closing speech? Okay. Today, I have won the debate because I've explained why electric vehicles are better for the environment. In my opponent's opening argument, they stated that lithium mining is dangerous. However, I refuted that claim by explaining how storage and recycling technologies are improving with the environment in mind and how rare metals are mined for both gasoline and electric vehicles. Even if EVs are not entirely green, they are still a vast improvement over gas vehicles. Judge, if you care about protecting the environment from excessive pollution caused by greenhouse gas emissions that gas vehicles create, then vote for pro. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, Craig. Kara, would you like to use some prep time?
One moment, there's fire.
Oh my.
There's fire trucks, I mean, sorry.
Are you safe, Kara?
Yeah, I'm safe. It's just that there's fire trucks like outside
Mm-hmm.
blaring their horns. I'm sorry.
No
1 second.
worries.
Okay. No prep time, yeah. Opponent and judge ready? Okay. This trend has to end. Gas vehicles should not be replaced by electric vehicles. I believe I have won because in terms of environmental impact, lithium mining can affect developing and developed nations all over the world and their communities. And though lithium mining is used for other renewable sources and gas vehicles, this is not to the extent that electric vehicles have. And judge, if you're truly for saving and preserving communities all over the world, please vote for con. And for those reasons, I will like your con ballot.
Thank you very much. And congratulations to both the debates and the participants within both debates. You did a marvelous job. So let us now conclude showcase debate. And I will do that by sharing our last slide where you have a contact to Capital Debate Office where you can ask any questions regarding your child's improvement. You will get their final assessments during this weekend. So if you have any further questions regarding that, here is the contact information. But apart from that, something that I've shared with all of the students within this group, and I'm sure that you witnessed how great they were within their presentations, is that they have a great founding for even greater improvement in public speaking and debate fields. So I strongly encourage them to continue with debate, and what Capital Debate can offer from our side is a year all round classes and tournaments where they can significantly improve their knowledge and their skills. Dear parents, once again, thank you so much for trusting us with your children. And dear students, thank you so much for giving me such a pleasure and honor to be with you for this past 2 weeks. Thank you very much and have a lovely summer. Bye-bye.
Can I ask you something?
We're still online, so we need to close the meeting, but you can ask me in a Google Classroom. Will that work for you?
Sure.
Yes, you can do that in a Google Classroom. Thank you so much, Ray. I will be by my computer, so you can do it now.